Hey guys, today we are doing a week in review, and as you might already know, it's been absolutely a bloody week. And I think the major headlines was CPI data. Right, so inflation hit a 40-year high as CPI rises to 8.6% in May. All right, so that wasn't good news. Highest been in 40 years, and that resulted in the markets dropping nearly about 900 points. So it's pretty bloody. All right, and that's basically what happened with the markets as of Friday close. All right, so it was massive. In this video, I just want to share with you all three indicators that we can actually look at, right? So three commodities that affects all our lives to actually gauge whether CPI will continue increasing or if it will continue flattening out. All right. So the last time we talked about crude oil, about how crude oil has actually broken resistance. Currently trading at around 120, right? So I want to bring you all through two other commodities that we can actually look at. They will give us an indication of whether inflation is actually increasing or not. All right. And those, my friends, are this, right? So let me just show you. Give me 2 seconds, and yep, here you go. Okay, so the first thing which I actually was sharing was actually forward slash CL, right? So CL very simply is crude oil prices. So if I actually showed you guys, if I actually shared with you all previously, you all can actually see on a 1 year daily chart, you guys can see that it actually broke very, very clearly, it actually broke resistance, right? And one thing that I do is I actually typically like to go to a time frame, and I'll actually choose a 1 year monthly chart, right? So I look at a 1 year monthly chart to actually see what's happening as well. And y'all can see, right, that crude oil wise for the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it's been 7 straight green candles, right? And obviously, in crude oil prices are increasing, transportation costs, everything around the world, everybody will be affected in some way or another, right? If you're driving, if you're taking any sort of transport, it will result in higher prices, and that will mean that it's a bigger burden to our pockets, right? And if crude oil actually continues to go higher, 130, 140, CPI is not going to slow down for sure. All right, so this is one indicator you can look at to actually know whether your CPI is actually going to go even higher or whether it's going to go lower, right? So that's number one, right? The next thing which I like to look at very simply is forward slash NG, right? So this is your natural gas futures, and you all can actually see your natural gas is also increasing, right? For the last 4 months, you can see that it's increasing. It's almost nearly definitely doubled, almost tripled in price since 1 year ago, right? $3 currently right now. The highest it's been was 966. It's closed out at 875 as of closing, right? But it's obviously on the rise as well, right? So natural gas, obviously, your electricity at home, cooking, heating, heaters, all of that stuff consumes natural gas, and if that's rising like crazy, then guess what? Your prices are going to go up tremendously as well, right? So that is natural gas, and it's not a good sign that that's increasing as well, right? So these are all directly impacting our homes. The next final thing that I want to actually share with you all, and this might not be so familiar to most of you all, is forward slash XW. And this, my friends, is wheat futures, right? So wheat, as you all know, it's your grain, your rice, and stuff like that. And this has been increasing tremendously as well, right? Hit a crazy, crazy peak in March, right? Like a little bit of anomaly, but anyways, as you all can see, last 5 months has been actually rising. The last month being kind of flat, right? So we can see possibly a tapering off in wheat prices, right? However, it's still extremely high compared to even what it was a year ago at 607. Currently, right now, closing at 1070, right? So this is your wheat, and it's also increasing, currently in last month holding up the price. But if there's going to be an increase in price, further increase in price in wheat as well, that's also not a good sign, right? So these are the three main indicators that will affect our lives, right? Wheat, natural gas, and crude oil. And if these three are literally going up, then your CPI isn't going to stop, right? It's just going to keep rising, and God bless us all, right? So I hope you guys learn something from these three commodities, and basically how you can actually gauge them and actually understand. All right. Okay, so right now going back to my presentation, so that's basically one. And the next thing is, we've had an absolute crypto meltdown, right? So we've had a crypto meltdown, and this week has been after the CPI data was released. Crypto had a massive meltdown, and I want to show y'all, and y'all can actually see this looking at TradingView, right? So when you go to tradingview.com, you can actually have a look, right? So this is BTC, right? If I actually pull out the charts for a longer term, you guys can actually see that it's clearly broken down, right? So it's clearly broken support, right? So there was a very, very strong support pretty much at these levels, right? So this was the 30K level. It was holding up pretty strongly for the week, holding, but we have clearly broken the 30K support. Currently right now, as of this time of filming, we are currently sitting at 27,000, so what's going to happen, my friends, right? So let me just pull out the charts for y'all, right? So um, here, so this is what I feel is going to happen. Again, what I feel, might happen, might not happen, but I feel we are probably heading down to about 20K, right? So this is another very, very key support. Previously a resistance point, as you all can actually see, and that was at this price point of about 20K, right? That was at a price point of about 20K, right? And that's where I feel we are headed to. I'm setting my limit orders to actually purchase Bitcoin at these levels. I think it's a very, very high possibility we hit these levels. And if that happens, obviously all your other altcoins will actually continue to drop severely as well. So 2018 highs of Bitcoin at 20,000, right? After that meltdown happened, we were just trudging along all the way for years and years and years before we finally broke it and just hit the new highs, right? So I feel we're going to come down to those levels again. 20,000, here we come. That's what I feel, right? And for Ethereum, man, Ethereum's taken a hit, a major, major hit. Again, was trying to hold support at around these 19 levels, 1917 levels as well, which was another critical point. But as of this weekend, we've taken a massive dump, right? We've taken a massive dump. It couldn't hold, right? This 17 was absolutely critical, right? This 17 line was absolutely critical, right? I was hoping for it to actually hold. However, it didn't, right? However, it didn't, right? This 17 line to hold. And currently right now, we've obviously broken below this 17 line, right? This is not a good sign, right? And where can we head to, right? So again, these levels, either 1002 is very, very possible, or if we keep melting, my friends, if we keep melting down, I wouldn't even be surprised if we hit this $800 mark, right? So like this $800 mark will be another critical level. That it's very, very, very possible, my friends, right? So these levels, right, which is your $800 mark, we've already hit the support line here pretty much, right? The 2018 high, right? It's 2018 high, we've already kind of hit it, almost hit it. Actually, we've already hit it, right? We're already there pretty much, right? But if you continue breaking down, then $800 is where we will go. And again, if Bitcoin continues dropping, then it's a almost sure hit and a sure pretty much guarantee that this will continue going down as well. And we'll probably see Ethereum coming down to 870, right? So if I would be setting any orders on Ethereum to actually go and purchase, I'll actually be looking at those levels. Guys, reality check. That's exactly what I'm going to come down to. Inflation is not looking like it's going to stop, and if that continues to persist, then these equity and crypto prices will continue dropping for sure. Okay, so this is something that I want to share in terms of where we are headed to in terms of these prices. Okay, and let's get back to my slides. Right, so that's the crypto meltdown that's actually happening currently right now as you speak. Broken supports heading down, and yeah, man, so let's have a look at the markets in terms of SPY and QQQ for now, right? So out of that, let's look at the markets for SPY QQQ, and let's see what has happened. All right, so if I'm going to share my Thinkorswim. Okay, so if I go back to SPY, if you all saw my last video, if you all saw my last post, I said, guys, we are obviously in a rally, a fake rally, right? So wait for the W, wait for the W, wait for the W. If you remember that, I said it multiple times. And if you remember it, great, fantastic, right? So I did mention, hey, wait for this W to actually happen. And it actually has happened already. Okay, it's actually happened already, right? This W has actually come, right? And again, guys, a very, very critical support would be 380, right? And if 380 cannot hold, then um, we're going down a lot lower, right? And what will determine your 380 holding or not? Let me just share with you all what I feel for this week, my friends. This week on Thursday, right? Thursday, 2 a.m. Singapore time is the FOMC meeting. All right, is the FOMC meeting, and that will determine your interest rates and stuff like that. And again, I feel the first 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, pretty much be just anticipation, just banging around before some major movement happens on Thursday morning, right? So that's what we're gonna see. Whether the 380 can hold or it cannot hold, right? If it does hold, fantastic, right? If it does hold, fantastic, then I think if it does hold and goes up, then great. Then 380 will definitely prove to be a very, very strong support. This 380 level. If not, where are we gonna go? Right? If not, if it doesn't hold this 380 level, then worst case scenario again, right? Worst case scenario, I really do think it's definitely possible. I explain to you my rationale why, and basically what I feel is really possible would be this 340 to the 350 level, right? So there's not one point, but pretty much this 340 to 350 level I think is very possible. And that basically is based on the pre-COVID highs, right? So pre-COVID highs pretty much was around 340, right? And I think that we're going to go back to that level. And my rationale why is very simply because of this entire movement was caused because of quantitative easing, right? Trillions of dollars being pumped into the markets, and right now the money is being pumped out of the markets, right? And if the money is being sucked out of the markets, trillions of dollars are being sucked out of the market, then coming back to pre-printing is just very logical that it will happen. All right, so again, I'm pretty much prepared to actually go and really load up when it hits about 350. Again, with regards to SPY, I told you guys, please watch my previous video. I did a video very, very clearly stating about valuations and looking at that to actually gauge whether it's a good time to go in or not. All right, so again, in terms of actual levels, this is what I pointed out. I really feel so, but again, taking a pinch of salt, who knows, it might happen, it might not happen. um, but those are just levels I'm looking out for, right? So again, I am not entering the markets, I'm not buying in or whatever it is. I'm just waiting, sitting on quite a bit of cash right now, just waiting, seeing how it goes. And again, like I told you, for this week, FOMC is what we need to be focusing on to actually see how the market will react and how it will go from there. All right, so that's for the SPY, and I believe pretty much the same for the QQQ as well, right? So if I actually look at the QQQ and I actually pull this out, let me just show you all something. Quite cool. Okay. And it studies right. If I actually pull out the 200 moving average, all right. So if I actually pull out 200 moving average, even if I look at a 10-year weekly, for example, um, again, at a 10-year weekly, if you actually see, bounces off here, bounces off here as well, right? So we currently at 288 for the triple Q, right? Seeing at this support, let's hope it holds, right? So again, this level for the QQQ at at lower support is pretty much around 275. All right, so let's hope this holds. If I look at the 10-year weekly, it's always a good bounce, right? Again, one more time, on a 10-year weekly, which is this chart, it's always a good bounce. But again, if it's a .com type crash, it can go lower. However, for me, I'm waiting for 275, right? So even with the COVID crash as well, it hit the 10-year weekly very nicely before the bounce. And then right now, that's what we're seeing. So, I feel 275 is going to be a good bet for the triple Q. Okay. That's basically my point of view in terms of the markets and where we're going to go, right? So let's see. Again, looking at all these other indicators that I've actually shared with you all in this video is going to be really, really important, right? Actually understanding, seeing whether commodity price continues increasing, whether it flattens out. All these things are going to be very, very important, and let's see how that plays out. And again, as always, I will actually be updating you all and sharing with you all, my views and how I feel the market's going to pan out. Again, take whatever I see as a pinch of salt. If it makes sense, if you love this video, guys, please show me some love. Like the video, love the video. Let me know. Again, it gives me, um, gives me some motivation to do more, right? So thank you very much, guys, and I hope to see you all in my next video. Thank you. I'll see you all soon. God bless.